Okay fellas, I just wanted to give you a quick vid here on prepping some wheels. Seems how I finally got some tires from the hobby shop. They finally ordered some, or got their order in. This over here is a right out of the box Proline wheel. Comes with the kit. You'll see this right here. That little nub, that's where they break the wheel off of the plastic tree. What I do is I cut mine off. As you can see, I got a little aggressive here, got a little carried away, but there was another one on the other side that a little bit smaller. That's a little bit better, but that's probably the way you want to try to do it, or just, sand it off a little bit. Probably be the best way. I just use my knife and so this unprepped one, see the shiny dot right here, and that shiny dot there, and as you can follow that light, you can see it's pretty consistent, bright, shiny, the glare of it all the way across. Now, I've seen guys take wheels and tires at the track on the spot, just glue them up and go. Proline wheel or tires are really the dirtiest, oiliest tires I've seen. You almost have to clean them. There's just no way around it. The AKAs, gotta clean them. They're not as dirty as the Proline, but the tires gotta be clean if you use this wheel without prepping it. The J Concepts wheels, tires, man, they're like the cleanest I've ever seen straight out of the bag. They're just clean. I mean, you can go wash them and you barely see any dirt come off of them. How they pull that off, I don't know, but probably something when they pull these tires out of the molds, they got to have oil on them or something to release from the mold. But J Concepts has got some really clean tires. They obviously do some sort of cleaning process, but AKA and Proline, I would not use that wheel without washing the tire first. It's a must. This is a prepped wheel, and if you note, there's no shiny dot here. The glare kind of goes away in the bead. It's not consistent. You'll see that little shiny dot there, but that's actually the glare dot is coming from that little edge on that little bead edge on the front of the wheel. I'll kind of hide it for you there. See? So that's a prepped wheel. What I've done is I've scuffed it up with a Scotch-Brite. Pretty handy to have at the track. I mean, if you got time to do it at home or at the track, you might want to get your Dremel out and get a little buffer wheel or something and just rough it up. But way I do mine is I just take and put this right in there like that, and then I just work it around. As you can see, it just kind of puts the edge of that Scotch-Brite down in that bead. You want to press kind of hard because you want to get the inside edge of that bead, even the flat part. And then you just, little sound effect for you there. Just scuff that up and rough it up. That's proper. If you can find the time or take the time to do that, you'll be glad you did. I've seen a lot of tires come undone out on the track because it was too shiny and they didn't get a good adhesion with the CA, or the oil on the tire from it not being clean will make it more likely to come off if you're using this wheel, because the oil and the shininess of the tire, it just doesn't, you don't get a good bond. And this, you're going to get a good bond. You do this and then rough up the rubber bead on the tire, and you will get a good bond and you're less likely to have a tire blow off on you. You get into them corners on the outside here edge, when you're getting good hard side bite, it won't let go on you and fly off. That's a good way to do it. And then you just take a little motor cleaner and clean it off, or you can use denatured alcohol. I always keep some of that on handy even if I'm at the track, because I like to at least clean my wheel no matter what. So that gives you an idea of the prepping and why you want to prep. And I'll get back to you on tires, because you will not believe the tires I got. I got some tires, and here's the rear one. That's not bad. I mean, it looks pretty good. You know, I can just about get these little burrs off of there on these with my Scotch-Brite. Of course, I'll probably get my Dremel out and just kind of scuff it a little bit and rough it up. Try to get this edge right here as best I can. The edge that faces the wheel, the outside of the wheel. And I want to try to get a little bit of glue up in here too, on this where it starts to round out. I'm trying to focus here, but right where it starts to round out, that's why I scuff up this outer edge right here. So I want to try to get as good a bond as I can, but it always lets go eventually. That's the one part that just never wants to hang on. At any rate, rear tires look great, but you want to see something kind of bad. Look at this. That is the front. You can kind of get an idea of what I'm dealing with here. So let that be a lesson. Really look them tires over before you buy them. This was not the last bag of tires on the shelf, unfortunately. I just grabbed the front bag and walked over to the counter. But let's see if I can show you a little more here. Look at that. See that? Piece of the bead's completely gone. It's just not there. It's like a piece. That's how it came out of the bag. It's like I grounded it out or snagged it on something, but it's just gone. And that's one of the fronts. Both of the rears were actually pretty good, but look at this other front here. This one here. Look at that. That's the bead right there of the tire. You see that? See if I can make it a little easier to see here. It's like it's just gone. It's like it didn't get. It's like an air pocket in the mold. That ain't good. So there's something else I want to show you with this tire. So it obviously had some problems. Now, here's the inside of that tire. Boy, that's not good. But it is what it is, and I've tried about every tire out there, and I've had something or another wrong with one or all or none. You know, I mean, you're always going to have some issues, but as you can see, I got a lot of prep work to do on these before I can even get around to pointing out some of the poking hole options in the tires. I haven't even got to that on these yet. Isn't that a bummer? I mean, I'll be just prepping these. I bet I'm going to have over 30 minutes in them. I'm a little bit anal when it comes to prepping tires, so I like to take my time. Look at that. Bummer. That can be plucked off with your finger. or you can scrub it off with a couple battery packs. I'd like to point out why I got this tire here is the size of those beads, the studs on these tires. It's one of the reasons I like them. They really last a long time. Our track's really pretty good on tires. Grab a rear one here. They're not as bad, but those are pretty nice. They last a long time. They're real tall studs. And that's why I run them. I'm not running them because I think they're the best, because I really couldn't tell you 100% sure which is actually the best. I just know these got real good side bite. The more the tire rolls, you still got quite a bit of tread coming down into the side of the tire. That's going to make the tire a lot more stronger and stable. Got all these inside webs. Pretty tough tire. They last a long time. I can get, in 3 months, I usually go through about 2 sets of tires in 3 months. So that's why I like them. They last good, they work good, and anywho, I'll get back at you guys here in a little while.